Okay guys, now we will move into the C's for Atari 2600 games. And the first one we'll talk about is going to be the Cabbage Patch Kids. Now, I was not into the Cabbage Patch Kids because I'm a boy, but my sister, she loved them, so I remember, destroying all of her Cabbage Patch Kids because I was a little brat when I was a kid, but anyway, I remember Garbage Pail Kids. I collected the cards, if any of you guys remember those. They were kind of cool. Anyway, the game is really, goofy, but it's not a bad game for 2600. Just about the same, along the same kind of lines as the Smurfs. Not easy to play, but it's kind of an interesting game anyhow. Yeah, I'm not good at this at all. I'm very bad at this. So it gives you an idea of how easy it really is and how bad I really am. So let's back out of that. Cakewalk was kind of interesting. This was made by Vid. It was a very interesting game. Very hard to find, if I'm not mistaken. This is one that's rare and hard to find. Love this game. Now you can stop these from moving, so that they don't fall like that. When they fall, a little guy comes out and cleans up the cake. It's kind of interesting. For the time period, this was a very neat game. So very cool. It's a lot like Tapper, but just a really neat game. Really fun to play if you really get the hang of it. Don't be like me. I'm not doing so well here, but you get the idea of how it is to play. It's kind of fun, Oops. Okay. So we'll go back to where we were. Canyon Bomber, common game, wasn't bad at all. Carnival Games was like shooting and stuff like that. It was just a pretty good game. Carnival was not bad at all. Casino, card games, kind of very hard to play for me. It wasn't a good game. I had that game and I didn't like it. I was a kid. I wasn't into casino games. I didn't know what they were. I wasn't very familiar with blackjack and stuff like that back when I was 7 or 8 years old. Cat Tracks, interesting game. We'll give this one a shot here. Let's just see how this one is. Oh yeah, I've played this before. It's just another Pac-Man, basically. So really nothing to explain here. Obviously, pick up what appears to be dots. I don't know what it is exactly, but now I'm a car. That's kind of neat. So I must have to trap these mice, I would imagine. That seems to be what I need to be doing right now. I can't seem to get them. They're running away. There we go. Did I get him? No, I didn't get him. He got me. So I don't know. It's a Pac-Man style game. Cat House Blues, another one of those play-around games. We're definitely going to have to do an adult-themed 2600 game because they're just interesting, guys. Cave In, have not heard of that one. We'll give it a shot. Some of these games are very good. Some of these games are very bad. So you're just kind of hit and miss, But at least with this system, you get to try them out. You don't have to go spending crazy money on these games. Oh, I played this one before. This is actually a very good game. It looks pretty realistic as far as what abilities you have with the system. The movements are pretty good. Oh, come on now. Again, I must reiterate, I'm not saying I'm the best at these games. I'm just saying I like them. Uh, this one is interesting. Actually, it's like you're actually in a cave and you gotta shoot all these creatures that are coming at you. Pretty interesting game. I mean, for what you could really do with the 2600, and this may very well be a homebrew because it's a very good game. I would have really played this back in the day. I would have played this for a long time. I can just tell. I would have loved to see how far I can get and how many creatures I could kill. And a lot of the games with the Atari, you kind of had to be creative with playing with your buddies, not just the high score, but how many like on this game. Well, how far can I go? How many levels can I get past? Or how many creatures could I kill? Before the end of the game. So which makes it more exciting, made it fun to play. And this kind of a game like this, you can see how you could just you could get into it and really play it. I mean, here it's the year 2016 or 2017 or something like that. See, I don't even know what year it is. This is how good of a game this is. It makes you forget completely of where you're even at in the world. It's really good. I like it. It's probably one of the best games I've seen for the Atari, to be honest with you. This is a really good game. I really like this game. Yeah. So this is called Cave In, and I would recommend this one to anybody. Actually, this is a pretty good game. See, I'm not the best, but I like to play it. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I seem to be at the end of something. Now this may be kind of like adventure. Maybe you were supposed to get some keys and things along the way before I can get out or something like that. I think that's what I've done wrong. I haven't collected enough stuff or something. But interesting game. Interesting. Very good game. Whoever made this game did a very good job on this. So yeah, I would recommend that absolutely. Centipede, great game. Lots of people love Centipede. Challenge, I've not seen this one before. This looks like another homebrew. We'll give it a shot. See how it is. Looks to be European. It could be one of those cartridges that were only made in Europe. There were some games like that, I think. Wow, interesting. I seem to be some kind of duck at the bottom. It looks more like a Snoopy. Not sure what I'm supposed to do. I think I've got to go down through these walls like this. Looks to be the idea. Didn't work out. That seems to be what you got to do. Kind of neat, actually. Kind of a different style. So, I'm not good at it, but it's a pretty cool game. I kind of like that one. So that was called Challenge. And it was a little bit of a challenge, at least for me, Championship Soccer was pretty good. I liked Pele Soccer myself. That was a really good game. Chase the Chuckwagon. One of those games that they just kind of, it came out for Purina, I think, Purina dog food. It's Purina. Purina dog food put this game out. And yes, it was kind of a bad game, to be honest with you. Very difficult to figure out. I could never really figure it out. Checkers, self-explanatory. Cheese prototype. Sounds like fun, Who doesn't like cheese, right? So let's check this out. It doesn't look like cheese at all. So let's give it a shot here. Yeah, I have no idea what I have no idea what I'm doing. I still have no idea what I'm doing. Wow, I'm bad at that one. I made it to the next land here. Looks like a dragon. I'm very bad at this game. That is a pretty decent looking dragon, actually. Yeah, somebody took their time on that. I mean, it really looks pretty good. I'm not any good, but the makers of the game are very good at what they did. This one looks pretty good. If I took time and actually sat down and tried to not be stupid at this game, I might enjoy it a lot better. So let's give it another shot. These appear to be some castles and fire coming from the dragon, I would imagine now. Just not good at this one, buddy. Just not good. Well, I'll tell you what, let's get out of this game and go to something that might be a little bit more easier for me to play. China Syndrome, Spectre Video, one of the little bit more harder to find games, I think, on this one. I've never ran across a copy of it, so it may very well be up there in price. But I've played this one before on the emulators. You press your button and try to capture these little things here. Blue, try to capture the blue. Yellow, try to capture the yellow. I know that the yellow ones seem to get bigger or seem to multiply very quickly, so you got to keep the yellow ones down. And then, try not to let them multiply. I'm finding this very difficult, very easily on. I'm not good at this game, guys. I'm about to die. I'm not good at that. But it was a pretty interesting game. It's pretty good to play. Chopper Command, I think everybody played that. That was one of the Activision games. They were very good. Chuck Norris Super Kicks, double ender game. Another one of those Xenox titles. I don't know. It was this was actually not a double ender, but it was made by the same company, the Xenox company. Very hard to play that game. I couldn't figure that one out. Climber, I knew you needed a paddle controller with that one. Climber 5 is kind of interesting. I don't know if maybe that's a prototype or what. It says 2600. I don't remember that. Don't recall that. It looks to be a very rare game, so let's give this a shot. Kind of well made. You can tell it's a little boy trying to climb some ladders or something. Kind of interesting, it's not really a unique concept by any stretch of the imagination. It looks, fairly common to. Oh, I'm about to die. Looks, a whole lot like a kangaroo or like Burger Time. But not a bad game though. Not a bad game. If it is a crazy, ridiculously priced game, I don't think I would pay the money for it. But back in the day, the good thing about all these games is they were all right about $20 to $30 a piece. It didn't matter what they were. They were all that much. So if you were lucky enough to get your hands on, a rare game like Communist Mutants from Space, looks like it's from Starpath or Supercharger game. I'm not sure. It's not a title I'm familiar with, but the cases, the artwork make it look very interesting. It makes it look like you would buy that if it was on the shelf. You look at that box and you go, oh yeah, that's cool. I've got to have that. Whoops. Press start, and oh yeah, this is basically like Space Invaders. Just a more amped up version of Space Invaders. I like it. It's a pretty good game here. Always liked Space Invaders, so any kind of Space Invader kind of game that's going to be closely related to it, or at least look a lot like it, I'm going to like that. So this is a pretty good game. I like this version of it. It's kind of like a Galaga meets Space Invaders. It's more Galaga-ish, but Space Invader-y characters, if those are even words. So it's kind of a neat game. I like that. Yeah. A lot of these games, like if I really sat down and tried my hardest to beat some of these games, I could probably get pretty good at it, but I don't appear to be very good right now, that's for sure. It's kind of hard for me to talk and play a game at the same time, so it doesn't make me look like the world's best Atari player, that's for sure. I know there's guys who could blow me out of the water on my gameplay, but I still like the stuff. I don't have to be the best, just It's got to be entertained. That was the whole point. But yeah, this is a great game. If you liked any of the Galaga, Space Invaders kind of games, this is probably for you. It's pretty good. So I like that one for sure. Communist, right? Communist mutants from space. Yeah, that's not racist at all. Compumate was an attachment for made by Spectre Video, made for the Atari 2600. I'm not sure exactly what it did. It says, yeah, it's too small. I can't read that writing, but kind of interesting anyway. Computer chess, yeah, I was no good at chess, especially when I was a kid. I'm probably no better at it now. Condor Attack looks interesting, so we'll give this one a shot, see what it's all about. Another Space Invader-ish kind of game. Oh, come on now. Well, there we go. Yeah, kind of not made as well as some of the other knockoffs. That one we just played was really good in comparison to this. This is more closely related to Space Invaders because your shots are one at a time and they're very slow. But it's still kind of interesting. It's still a good game. I just don't. I would kind of rather play the original Space Invaders than this one, just to be honest. But still a good game. Confrontation. Looks interesting. We'll give it a shot and see. Made by Atari. You know, a lot of the earlier Atari-made games were just, you know, other than the sports games, were kind of hard to know what's going on. I mean, like this, like I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what that is. I don't know what to do here. I mean, if you don't have the instruction manual, you don't know what to do. I mean, what in the world is going on here? Yeah, I've got to pass on that one. Yeah, no idea what to do. Now, I know there's a guy out there chomping at the bit to tell me all about that game. I really don't care, you know. When I was a kid, if I put it in and I didn't know what to do, I was done with it. So, I mean, that's as simple as that. If you put the game in and it doesn't just catch your attention and make you go, wow, that's cool, I want to play this, then it's done, it's gone, bye, see ya. I couldn't care less. So, yeah, I know there was probably a buddy down the road that loved the game and played the hell out of it for hours. I mean, that's great, good for him, but I couldn't care less about it. Conquest of Mars looks very interesting. That has got to be a prototype game. Never heard of that one. Lots of these games never really came out. So there's, you know, lots of titles on this RetroPie that you never saw, you would have never saw. But kind of interesting. Ooh, I died that quick. This is kind of an interesting game. Oh man, see, I'm not the best at these. I wish I was. I wish I could just walk through them and go, look how awesome I am, but I'm not. You know, it's fun to play, but I'm not the Atari champion of the world. I'm not the Atari champion of my little town. Yeah, but it's a good game. I like that one. I kind of recommend it. It's kind of like the other, kind of like a cave type thing, so I like that. That's pretty good. Cookie Monster Munch. I remember this one. It wasn't very expensive back in the day, and it was, you know, along the lines of all those, you know, I don't know what you want to say, you know, Big Bird and Cookie Monster and those games. They're pretty good games. You know, especially if you were a kid. You know, if you were really young, you know, and you wanted to play Cookie Monster, yeah, who didn't want to play as Cookie Monster? You know, I think I'm waiting on the music to get done because I can't do anything right now. Unless this is another one of those games where you had to have a special controller, and it might very well be, because I can't seem to do anything at all. So, let's try it again. Press start and see. Nope, still can't do anything. Oh well. A lot of those games had special controllers. You had to have, the kids controller. Yeah, I have one of those in stock right now, actually. You can hit me up on my website or my eBay, you know. you'll find it's kind of interesting, but not compatible with the Pi. So the Magic games were kind of interesting. They had Firefighter, Cosmic Arc. This was my favorite that they had. Really, really loved Cosmic Arc. A lot of people had the Magic games. They were not hard to find. They're not rare by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe they had a couple titles that are kind of rare, but this game is awesome. I played this game for hours and hours and hours, and much easier to play with the old joystick than it is to play with this D-pad on this controller. Is not make it easy. But if you get the aliens and you get back in the ship before the alien comes, then you get to get out of there and keep your little aliens and go to the next planet. But if you get out of there and you don't get them before the alien comes, then you have to come back to the same planet. Now you got to watch these little lines right here. See, now there's an alarm going off. It's telling you got an intruder coming in. You got to get back to your ship and get him. But love this game. Played this game for hours. I'm not as terrible with this because I've actually played it and spent some time on it. So you can see how much less I suck at this game than other games. Oh man, I almost had it. But I'm not going to sit here and play this game all day. You get the idea of it. It's very simple. That's what you do. Good game though. Cosmic Arc, very good game. I certainly recommend that. Cosmic Commuter, I think I've played that one before. Let's give it a shot. We'll do this one really quickly. And we'll see what it looks like. Oh, I've seen this one before. And I can see down there on the bottom of the screen it says Activision, so it's probably not a bad game. There we go. Oh yeah, you're trying to land the spaceship and... There you go. See, that wasn't hard. And then you shoot little things. Yeah, I've played this before. Not a bad game, actually. A lot like Defender and some of the others, Barnstorming, some of the other games back then, but yeah, this is a fairly decent game. I like the aspect of having to land the ship. Whoops. And then you get points for doing that, and then you get to take off and shoot things. It's kind of neat. It's a different start to the game, not just a common shooter. Space shooter kind of side-scrolling. So I like this one. This is a good game. I definitely recommend it. Kind of different. When you can speed up too, you can go really fast. That's going to be not good for me. That quickly. So let's give something else a shot here. Cosmic Creeps. Played that before. Not a bad game from what I remember of it. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I played it last, I must have been high or something. I don't know what the hell it's about. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I need a paddle controller with this one. So that's not what I remember. Yeah, but I've certainly heard of that before. Thought I played it, but that doesn't look familiar to me at all. Cosmic Invaders, Cosmic Swarm. These, lots and lots of these games are just basically loosely based on, Space Invaders and things like that. So, back in that time there was a lot of the space stuff going on. So, made a lot of games that were space related, and they sold well, so people bought them. Cracked was a very good game. Now, this is one of the shooter games for Atari, but you don't have to have a light gun. You just use your D-pad, your joystick, whatever. So it works. It works just fine, even with the D-pad. It works good. But there's 3 different levels on this, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I'm not the best at this. Played it a few times. Just about out of bullets. But really a pretty good game. You know, for Atari era, this is pretty good. So that's kind of a good shooter game for the Atari. It's a pretty nice game. So I recommend that. Crackpots was great. I recommend that one. Crash Dive, Crazy Balloon was an interesting game. I'd like to show you this one here. Interesting. You know, just the music. You gotta love that. Interesting game. The object is to not hit the ceiling and not hit any of the walls. Oh, see how great I am at this stuff? I'm telling you what. Come on, man. Well, I'm not the greatest at that one either, but that's a pretty decent game. Crazy Climber, a lot of people played that. I can't ever get the gist of that. You have to press up and down, up and down, up and down to actually climb, like you're stretching and contorting your body to actually climb. It's kind of crazy. I never got it. Crazy Valet was an interesting game. We'll look at this one here really quickly, and about out of battery life, so we might end up cutting the C section a little bit short on this. Oh yeah, this is, you know, I'm sure you've seen newer computer generated, you know, games like this. This is, if I can figure out how to do it now, you have to press your button down to hold on to the piece and then move it with the D-pad. So this is a game that, you know, I think I have it on my cell phone, you know. So, and then that's all there is to it. So like it's over. So, you know, the object is to do that in the fewest amount of moves. So not a, you know, a very difficult game, to be honest. Cross Force. Oops. Go back here to the 2600 games. And yeah, we're just about done. Crystal Castles was really good. Love that game. That was one of my favorite games. Crypts of Chaos was not bad either. A little bit more harder to do. I think it was one of the early RPGs, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of a side-scrolling, kind of a mix of a game. Not exactly a RPG, but it was a pretty good game. I really liked it. So. Crystal Castles, we're going to end the video with that one. This one is awesome. I loved Crystal Castles. Had a copy of it when I was a kid. Some of the people I played with didn't care for this game. I thought it was fantastic. I just remember playing this game for hours and hours, trying to get as far as I could, as many levels as I could. The thing that was interesting about this game is it had a lot of levels. I mean, for the time, you know, that we're talking about here, there was a lot of different levels of gameplay. So you could actually play this game for a while, if you're any good at it, and you know, have kind of fun doing it.